Hi, I'm Eric Dewey from the Socially Awkward Studios, Science and Beer, and Her Majesty's Secret Podcast, and you're listening to another proud presentation of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Check out more shows at foureyedradio.com.
Hey listeners, Eric here, also known as Trekkie B47, from the Starfleet Escape Podcast and the Ranger Command Power Hour. The more phenomenal episode you're about to listen to is brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Appropriately Inappropriate. I am Kevin Elliott, one of your hosts, and sitting across from me is...
the person listening to Kevin shout out numbers. We're testing. Kevin says 9. I'm Nancy.
Isn't that no in German?
Donka is no in German.
I don't know.
No, it's thank you. It's thank you.
I'm Jewish. I hate Germans.
Oh, so you just know no in Jew.
Yeah.
No!
Will you pay for that? No.
Can I put you in a fireplace? No!
First, that's fucked up. I love it.
I knew you.
All right, first and foremost, you guys, thank you so much for coming out last week to our first ever live stand-up show. We had a blast, and we had a good turnout, and all the comics were really funny, and we're doing it again August 21st, which is a Thursday, 8 p.m., stand-up Scottsdale, free admission. We'll reveal the lineup here in just a little bit. We've got everybody scheduled, ready to go. But for the next couple weeks leading up to that show, we're going to have some featured spots, which we do, bring it into the studio and have a good time, talk with them so you can get to know them a little bit. One of the guys that was on the show last week that you heard and saw if you were there was Michael Kohn. Welcome in, Michael. Woo!
Hey, guys. What's going on?
So when we were interviewing you after your set, it was brought up that I was going to fuck you in the ass in the studio.
It was.
So we have the video recording.
I'm wearing my GoPro.
Is it going?
I'm wearing my GoPro.
GoPro.
You guys just back right there.
There's a lot of pictures of kids around me.
And that's the environment.
Turn
No, we have kids.
It's part of the ambiance.
Yeah. So where I hand drew the handprints on the wall, I want you to put your hands right there, like a chalk.
That's
Gross.
clever.
So gross. So wait, first before we get into the sex,
Did you bring your ferns?
I didn't.
Damn it!
guys,
Where's rescheduling?
follow or like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/appinpod, APPINPOD. We post the show, we write stuff about the show, all kinds of stuff. So you can follow everything there. Also, you can follow me on Twitter @Kevin_Elliott, and Nancy. You still don't give it out. You just don't give a shit. I'm your one person that follows you.
I know. I forgot my password. I got a new phone. I still care.
Do you have a Twitter though?
Yes. I don't remember what it is.
You don't know.
I haven't even downloaded the app on my new phone.
Oh, really? I was just about to ask. Where can I follow you?
I don't.
Yeah.
I haven't taken the plunge yet. I begrudgingly downloaded that stupid Facebook Messenger app.
Oh, yeah.
By the way.
I did that.
I don't get angry about technology. Like, I don't. But I got really pissed that I had to download.
Because you had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to message you to confirm, like, okay, this is the dress or whatever. And this morning, I was running late, as I usually do. Didn't have time. Felt bad.
Yeah.
Don't got his digits yet. Sex comes first.
Yeah.
In Kevin's world. Sex, then phone number, then name, actually.
Never last name.
No. No kissing.
Do you have, like, Instagram or
I
anything?
do have an Instagram.
Where can people follow you on there?
People can follow... Okay.
It's always funny when you ask someone, they laugh before they give you the name. It's embarrassing.
My Instagram handle is Erection Music Selection.
Very
One
nice.
word.
Why?
All lower caps. So my friends and I have this concept called Boner Jams with a Z, and it's basically like songs, mostly 90s R&B that we grew up with, that when we became adults we realized what it was really for. Because as a kid, we're singing I'll Make Love to You, but we don't know what that is.
Means a whole different thing. I know.
As an adult.
Hurts so good.
When
I
your
love
eyes
that
are
song.
closed.
Not so much.
You know what it's for. So the Boner Jams, but then I took a cab ride with this guy once, and he was listening to like Luther Vandross, and someone just in my group, my circle of friends said, he was listening to the erection music selection, not boner jams. And I just thought that was the funniest thing ever, so I kind of commandeered it
You're
as
like,
my own.
Finally, I've been inspired to
It's
make my name.
real fun. Yeah, I think it's funny. I don't know. People usually ask me why, and then I don't tell the story because it's a longer one. But now we're here, so.
And there's a microwave microphone in
what
front
we
of your
do.
face.
Is there a microwave in here? I
don't know.
kind
I don't know.
of
I'm
feeling a
so
hot
tired.
pocket. Do you got any mom snacks in your drawers?
He should
Actually,
does.
I
Shut
do.
up, you
Would
do.
you-
We can get to
yeah.
later.
Okay,
We can get there
all
later. We'll take that train.
All right, so erection music selection on Instagram,
Yes.
Michael Kohn on Facebook.
Kohn.
Yep.
Often mispronounced.
How's it mispronounced?
Yeah, how do you miss that one?
Con. I get con a lot.
There's no A.
Yeah. I had a pizza delivery guy once who was clearly a Star Trek fan. When I opened the door, he yelled it at me, as a matter of fact. The con! He yelled it. And I'm like, I didn't correct him because I felt like I had made his fucking day. By just
dude.
like, yeah, buddy. Yes.
I don't know enough about that sci-fi shit to understand what you're talking about.
So it's like a famous, like, stupid YouTube clip because it's William Shatner and he's just yelling that name. He's yelling Khan.
Oh.
And
Why?
I haven't seen the movie either. I have no idea. But I'm on the
I'll tell you.
interwebs a lot, so
Yeah.
I know that stuff.
All right, Nancy, why?
Oh, I was
Do you
totally
know?
kidding.
Did you
God,
know?
no.
Oh, you were so serious.
I was so kidding.
Your face. Wow, you fooled me. All right, so Michael, you did the show
Yes.
last week, our first one.
It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had a great time. The comments I was getting afterwards were people, you get up there and you do your 5 to 7, that's par for the course. And then you get off stage and that's it. Nobody, if they come up to you after the show or whatever, that's great. Maybe you have a conversation. But when you stay up there and the audience gets to know you a little bit better, there's almost, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, there's just like a level of connection there. They're almost like, well, now we're buddies.
Yeah.
Like an open door.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great. Like you meet like people who are considered, not fans, because who the hell am I? But like I work at a pizza place. But
Yeah, the con guy.
He is the guy.
I do.
He's yelling his own name as he delivers.
I used to work at a Mexican food restaurant, and now I work at an Italian food restaurant. So I'm moving up
For sure.
the
dude.
Latin language chain. I was here. Now I'm up top.
I was trying to
Italian.
text someone earlier that my kids are on their way to Culver's, and my phone autocorrected to Filiberto's. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Ooh.
It is
Your
a smartphone.
iPhone-
Is your
It is
GPS
a
on?
smartphone.
Can it tell where you are? That could be it. They're like, I know where
I'm
you
not
are.
even I
That's
just
pretty
threw
good.
it.
It's just choosing restaurants for you.
Yeah, it was like, that's a
type.
bad choice. You want this.
All right, so back to the
The
show.
show, yeah. The show's great. Let's talk that. Show's great.
Yeah, Anwar let off.
Yeah.
On like this ridiculous hot streak of internet sensation.
The Shrooms
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. And then you went second, right?
I did,
I can't
yeah.
even
I
remember the
followed
order,
him.
but I'm pretty sure second. And you're so funny. I think I even said you're one of my favorite
You
comedians.
did,
because you're
which
funny
was so
as
nice
shit,
of
man.
you. Thank you.
Every time you're up, I'm like, hell yeah, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna say? Now, the one thing you didn't talk about is my favorite joke, the paniculus.
The paniculus.
Yes,
Have you
tell
not?
us.
Okay, so.
Okay, wait. We've talked about this a long, long time ago. Kevin comes to me one day and he's like, "Guess what I learned today?" Like a kid from school. Guess what I learned? He was so
Well,
excited.
let me tell you the story. All right, there was Turner's Showcase was coming up like the end of the month, the Sunday or whatever, and I was at an open mic like that week, and I think it was. Have you done that yet? Am I on the right story with you? I didn't know your name yet. No, you weren't. You weren't. I know you weren't. But I didn't know your name yet. And I was like, I want to win the showcase, dude. This will be awesome. And you were like one of the last people to go of the night, and you did the paniculus joke. And fucking everybody's dying. I'm dying, and I'm like, I'm going to lose. Dude, this guy's going to be in the showcase. I just lost to this guy before it even started. I don't want to do it anymore. And then you weren't there. So I was like, awesome, dude, I can win. Hopefully he never comes back here again.
That's like honestly so great. I've only been doing it a year, and the biggest compliment that I get from other comics, and you will understand this, is when they ask how long I've been doing it, and I say, oh, about a year. They just go, fuck you, and that's
Yeah.
the biggest compliment I can receive, just because I haven't been doing very long, And he's along the same vein of what you said, like, I hope I don't see that guy again. And that's great. That's what I want to hear, right? I want to hear.
Well, no, it's like the dickest thing for me to say.
I'm into it.
Can we tell? Can we
Abuse
tell
me.
it on the?
The peniculus,
Yeah.
what it is? Okay, so just through internet nonsense, I found my favorite word in English, which is the word peniculus, and it's spelled Panniculus.
Right.
Peniculus. And a peniculus is... okay, so like when, in school they called it the fupa, the fat upper pussy area.
I've never. This is great. Keep going.
I'm taking you to school right now,
Thank
Nancy.
you.
All right, so that is what he called it in school, but the technical term for that sort of region when you get, and men and women, it's not just pussies, it's penises too, but it's just,
How tight you wear your shorts.
just, you gotta play both sides. So it's just that fat sack area in front that hangs down. And the funniest part to me is that it's like has stages to it, like 1 through 5. And then the joke I tell on stage is that it has stages like cancer or hurricane. And it's so funny to me that first of all, that it has like a scientific term. And I've made sure never to say it around except on stage, but in like public with someone with one around, because they know that name. Like they've gone to the doctor and the doctor's been like, ma'am, do you know you have a stage 3 peniculus? And she's like thinking, I'm going to die. Like, well, she's probably going to die, but like she's like tomorrow. And he's like, you got to trim up the sack there. You got to eat less carbs at night. However you can get that done.
I mean,
But it's my favorite word, and then I start rhyming with it because it's funny to me.
do that.
That's the fun.
Do that right
I
now.
say like, look at that ridiculous peniculus. Or like if you're into it, like I'm gonna miss this peniculus. I want to kiss this peniculus, and then I want to pour some chocolate syrup on it and up the deliciousness of this peniculus.
That's like boner erection songs.
And it's my It's the best word in that I know, that I personally know.
You came up with that, and he told me. I mean, it's all I think about. And I was at Disneyland recently, and I'm just like, there's one, and there's one, and there's one. There's
the
one holding
best.
2 churros. Like, it was crazy.
Now that you know, too sure. Well, yeah, of
I
course.
just run.
That's not a 1 churro thing. That's
No,
not
it's
like
one for this hand, one for this hand,
No,
one
no,
for
no.
the stage 4.
yeah. You see the stage 4. There's at least 3 churros behind that,
Oh, I mean,
packed on top.
this
of like
is
2
such
other
a medical
churros.
marvel to me, because it's like you're so like you grew that, like you grew a body part. Like, that's amazing in itself, and
Yeah.
it has a name, and it could probably sell products. Like, this is just
You have to take care of it too.
right
You
now.
have to,
You
like,
have this new
swab
thing,
it or
right.
whatever. Like
you have this new thing, this new responsibility, and you're responsible for
it's
this
like
now.
you got a fish tank and you got to
yeah,
clean that shit out every
this is
like,
your responsibility now that you have this.
vacuum out the little bits
Right.
of food.
I just did that. I swear to God. I just did that yesterday.
Yeah. Yours is still in the neck region. You're good. You are good.
You twat.
I didn't even mean that like that. I just meant like people like have folds in their neck, like neck cheese.
Well, I
Have
was
you
being
heard that
serious that I
before?
really cleaned my fish tank.
Not his fault. I was just imagining him like cleaning his kid's fish tank
Yeah, I
out, looking at him like, one day, Junior,
I really did.
this will be you.
See, Mike's on my side
got
knows what's
on it.
going
I
on.
thought you were trying to say you
Nancy's
have one, and
just a
I just
fucking
wanted
asshole.
She's
people to
sitting
know
on the other
that
side
you
of the
don't
desk,
have
that's why.
one.
I don't.
Kevin's a slim
Well, if
guy
that
with great
won't get me to
calves.
start dieting, I don't know what will.
The day a peniculus forms on me, like the smallest little just hint of one, that's the day I'll like.
Like,
I would buy
a bead
one
of
thing of
sweat
kale.
doesn't make it all the way down.
Oh yeah, well,
There you go.
Shit, man.
sweat.
So,
You have fish?
God, yeah, we have fish now. We got a bunch of fish.
Really?
Actually,
Is it salt water?
No, but while I was cleaning it, I found a dead one. On the bottom, it was underneath like one of the plants that are in the tank.
Does your
It
kid's
was
what, 5?
smothered
Yeah.
with
Does he
fat.
know death? Is he aware of?
Yeah, he talks about it all the time right now, and it scares me.
Really? Like in a creepy way?
About killing you?
I don't
Like his
know.
eyes roll back in his head, and he's like, "Death!"
No,
no.
he
the devil.
he was crossing the street with me yesterday, and he goes, I go, hey, look out, don't run, hold my hand or whatever. And he goes, I know, because if I run out, I could be dead. And I was like, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't really want you to talk like that anymore, but Fuck, I guess that's the outlook on life. You're learning.
Scare tactics.
Yeah.
It's
He's
the
been
only way
saying
to
it a
raise
lot lately,
kids.
But he's
man.
aware, though.
Yeah.
So he'll be like, he'll look behind. You said you're Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Me too. Me too.
Fresh in your mind.
It's always on our toes and nervous and scared.
We're always on the lookout.
For death.
You know, I had to teach my kids about death. We rolled up on a motorcycle accident. We were right in front, and we were stuck behind this accident for like 2 hours trying to get out of town. And they were just sitting there in
Weird
the car,
Nancy going on vacation.
Were you like
looking at the bodies, and
like,
it was
shit.
just
the
so
reason you can't see Mickey right now is
Yeah.
they gotta scrape this guy's brains off the road,
and
sweetheart.
literally, that's
Aw.
it was awful. But that's how they learned about death. And
Wow.
I wish I had taught them through fish, but I didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah.
No.
I had
Just
a
through a
fish.
guy probably listened to Bad to the Bone.
Well, now
got
I'm like,
on
and
it.
that's why we don't
Screaming
get
down
on
the
the
highway.
back of a motorcycle with your boyfriend ever. Like that's why we don't believe in motorcycles, right?
Well,
That worked
they
for me.
frighten
you can
me.
believe in them. They're
I
real.
know.
Yeah, they are
They
real.
don't.
You just don't
I don't
need to
believe
go
in
on
them.
them.
You can't believe in other things.
I don't want them to date a guy with a motorcycle. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
moral of that story.
Well, that's more because he probably has like daddy issues.
Is that what that
I would
means?
assume he yeah. I don't know. Maybe I've thought about. It's a weird sentence, I know, but I've thought about this before. Like guys with dad issues, like girls with dad issues. You know,
Right.
the idea is like they debase themselves. That's like the common, right?
Oh.
And like a guy with dad issues probably was like a bully in school, or maybe on the wrong side of the tracks, sort of a James Dean type figure. You know.
Yeah.
And then a girl with like, I don't know, what is a girl with mommy issues? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
What's a girl with
I
mommy
just jumped to
issues?
say yes. I don't know.
Because a guy with mommy issues is like a serial murderer.
Oh, I think I
Yeah.
know.
That's
I think
like-
I might. Oh, my hand's up. I'm
Okay.
raising my hand. I think I might know, because some friends of mine, we will name no names, get in like a marriage or whatever, and the mom like
Get in a marriage.
right like
Oh, shit, I got
nobody
another
enters
marriage.
in these things
Get
on
me out of here.
purpose. I tripped and fell. I'm married. Maybe like the mother dictates the relationship. Maybe like that would be an issue.
Mommy issues.
Maybe.
I just don't know how that would psychologically affect. Like daddy issues for a girl, there's a psychological effect. Mommy issues for a guy, he's probably killing cats and weird crazy shit.
Maybe women never kill cats unless
No.
they're hoarders.
And then it's an
They get
accident.
buried, right?
Yeah, and
under
it's, like, not on
under
purpose.
valuable things. Well, so I was watching Joan Rivers on some fucking date.
She's still a thing?
I love her. I never ever ever watch daytime television, but yesterday was the first day of school, so I was like, I'm gonna watch some TV. And she was on the Wendy Williams show.
Oh,
Yeah,
big
the
tits,
big
loudmouth.
boobs. Love her.
Gotcha.
I've never seen
Yeah,
her, but
all right.
now I love her. She's
Yeah, I
great.
know
Those
that is.
boobs, they go for days. Each boob has a peniculus. They're that big.
It does.
Anyway,
Stage
Joan Rivers lives with her daughter and like wreaks havoc in her home, supposedly. So the two of them said on the show.
Is it because she can't wipe herself anymore? Or is
No,
it
like
because,
she's like in her
just for
business.
fun?
She's just like moving her stuff around and like
No.
being like a bossy.
That's less fun than Joan Rivers.
But I
as an
think that would
invalid
be
to
like
me.
mommy issues. I don't know.
Maybe.
All right.
She clearly has enough money to take care of herself. Like she
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
need to live there.
I just looked up women with mommy issues.
Okay.
Or girls. And they say that girls with mommy issues are very closed off and they don't love people. Like, they don't.
They're not affectionate.
It's like the opposite of a girl with daddy issues that goes out and kind of whores herself and gets into trouble. The other, they close themselves
Oh,
off
that
and
may-
stay
that
away
makes
from
sense.
things.
you, but you're a guy.
Yeah.
So maybe we have some questions for Kevin's mom.
I picture a girl. Now I'm picturing the girl with mommy issues. She drives a 1998 Toyota Camry.
Okay.
It's that gold, like 90s gold color.
Champagne.
Champagne. There it is.
Yeah.
Fancy. I don't belong here, I told you. Crystal dolphin, like the blue crystal dolphin, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Hanging in the rear view.
Knickknacks.
Mm-hmm. Care Bear in the back. That's what I picture mommy issues.
That's the first start of hoarding.
Is that it?
That is stage one of hoarding. Knickknacks. Stage one of
Knickknackery.
hoarding.
Do you have any? You
I'm
got
anti-hoarding. I don't
You got
knick-knack.
kids. You have knickknacks.
Yeah, well, by default, I send them home with their friends every
What do
time.
you got? You got a mantle place full of stuff, Kevin? Cool items.
Not cool, no.
No?
But I got a bunch of stuff.
Kid
I have
stuff.
a lot of
You
kid
both have
stuff,
kids?
dude, yeah.
I got none of that. I got nothing.
That's all right, man.
Yeah,
Let's talk
that's
about
all right.
you. So you're how old?
28. Just turned 28 a couple months ago.
Oh, happy birthday, man.
Yeah, when was your birthday?
And happy anniversary to the comedy thing. You
June.
mentioned it last week. You
Yeah.
just hit that year.
About a year. Yeah, a little over a year now.
Yeah, you can drink that, Nance. And actually,
No,
if
is
you're
it
getting
yours?
up, you can get some more. I need some more water. It's hot as shit in here.
Why do you love making me get you things?
I don't know.
It's like your thing.
It's a habit.
Mommy issues.
So where did you grow up?
Here. I'm actually born and raised here.
Me too.
Yeah, so it's time to leave. It's time to go. No. I was born and raised here and kind of grown up in like all the various parts of the valley, Mesa, Tempe. I've seen all the good, the bad, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I lived in Mesa, I said, so.
Eesh.
But I was too young to remember. So it's like those kids who are like grow up in war zones, but they were like 4, so they don't remember
Yeah.
stuff.
They just
Same
hate
kind
loud
of thing.
noises.
Exactly. They just don't know why. There's a little white streak
So
in
Mike
their
just
hair.
hates Mormons.
Exactly. No, I just don't get them.
Really?
No, yeah, I'm from here. I currently live in what is known as affectionately as the Sugar Shack.
What's that?
Sugar Shack is my friend, his family's owned this property near ASU for a long time, and there's like a main house, and then it's basically a guest house, but it's called the Sugar Shack because everybody who's lived in that house, legend has it, has never gotten laid more in their entire life than when they lived in the Sugar Shack.
Really?
Yes.
Do they have a room available?
It is a 1-bedroom, no living room, one
So
kitchen.
it's like a studio.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
All right.
It's
We'll call it that.
That's what it is. I don't know.
Has it been disinfected in the last decade?
No.
That would
No.
make the luck go away. You don't want to ruin that.
Yeah.
That's right,
Just
but it
gotta
probably
roll with
smells horrible.
It's not bad. It's all tile floors. It's tile.
Like he's admitting it,
You'd
but he's
think-
like, you know what? You
It's
get
not.
used to
like
it.
the floors are tile.
Get used
like
to
I
it.
mentioned that like when I talk about that stupid joke about like I spill yogurt on the floor
Yeah.
or whatever. I do have tile floors, so it's not the stink kind of. It's as long as I wash my sheets.
As long as I
I'm
wash
cool.
my sheets.
Yeah.
I have a lot of sugar going on.
All right, hey, congrats, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty
Congrats. It's been great.
Yeah, so no, living with some pals, some new ones and some old ones. Live with this dude Ian I've known for like 14, 15 years.
Wow.
Long-term friends or whatever, and just kind of getting back in the groove of things. Because I mentioned in the podcast or whatever, the reason I got into comedy was I split up with my ex like last
Oh,
April or
yeah.
whatever.
Let's talk about that,
Holy
dude. Keep
crap.
going.
All right, so I'll just tell you the story. I'll tell
Just
you.
go,
I'll tell
man.
you in
I'm
a
sitting back.
funny. I'll tell you in a funny way. It'll be hilarious. So no, we had dated for like 4.5 years, 2 dogs, no kids, but like plans to do things or whatever.
What if this whole time he's like, 2 kids? He's like, I don't have kids. Fuck them.
I don't have kids. I don't. Even,
I mean, I have them, but I don't even know who they are.
I
They don't look
remember
like
their
me.
names. Birthday is what's birthday. Not from Daddy. No, so we
And
so
motorcycles.
and motorcycle. That exactly. I'm gonna get for his 18th. Get him a motorcycle. No, I don't have an illegitimate child. Thank God. Thank fucking God for that. So no, we were living together, and it was last April. I had like cleaned the house. I was sleeping, and she came home. She was going to MCC for whatever. I don't remember. That's probably a good
Yeah.
foundation for why we aren't together anymore. So she comes home from school, and I sleep nude.
All right.
I just
Hey, today's about
I'm
you.
gonna let that sit for a second.
No, that's. I
It's
mean,
not-
I
like,
did.
It's comfy. It's
I
com-
did
it's
too
comfortable.
when I was 7.
It's no. Oh,
Yeah.
Do it again. Get yourself some nice
I
sheets.
can't.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
a 5-year-old. He comes into my bed sometimes.
Yeah, no, that's frowned upon.
Then
in
he's
the
naked. I'm
community.
naked. We're snuggling. We have questions.
Yeah, he starts asking about other things, not death, but life.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let's change the subject. Let's talk about death.
So, sleeping nude, because just how I do it. And she comes home and wakes me up, and I just kind of get out of bed. She's seen me nude for 4 years, whatever.
Yeah.
She goes, we need to talk. And it was just with the eyes and the tone where you're like, I'm gonna be eating alone a lot for a while, like for a little bit. So we go in the living room, and you've seen Sarah Marshall, freaking Sarah Marshall,
Yeah.
right? Where she breaks up when he's naked.
Yeah.
I'd seen the movie, and that still happened. I'm standing there, just tears, because I was upset. I came out of nowhere, you know.
You were sleeping.
Now
She woke
sleeping.
you up from
Yeah.
sleeping.
We were supposed to like renew our lease because it was up in 2 months and all this stuff. So you know, we had this conversation, and like she decided she's going to stay at her dad's that night and think it over. So I can't sleep, wake up the next day, she comes home, and she's like, no, can't do it. Okay, so I call my parents. I'm like, hey, remember when I lived with you? Doing that again. I'll be over in a couple hours.
No recollection.
So I just packed up on, it was like a Wednesday. I remember it very specifically. It was a Wednesday. I pack up everything, just that I needed to live for the next couple days, and I was going to go get everything later. So go back to live with the parents, come back on Friday, get everything, except my DVDs. That was a goddamn mistake. So now I can't watch Goodfellas when I want to. And she still has them, and she's not watching Goodfellas. She hated that movie. And I can't, it's past the point of no return now.
Yeah.
I can't be like, my DVD's back.
Well, hey, listeners, fans of the show, let's buy Michael Kohn that DVD.
Let's buy
Let's do
Goodfellas.
it.
You guys get that DVD. You bring it on the 21st. We'll get it to him.
Ooh. So,
And if you don't, I'm going to buy it for him. I feel so bad.
you really don't have, I've seen it 1,000 times. So,
I'm going to reenact it for you.
yeah, so I moved in with my parents because that was it. Like, I just basically gave her the apartment. I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to see you. It's done. So we're fine. And I had learned lessons from previous girlfriends, and this time just said, I'm never speaking to you again, and then pretty much never spoke to her again. So I was living with the parents, and things were weird, and because they're old,
There's
they're
a lot of
now-
sexual
You gotta
tension.
Sleep
Lot
with
of
your clothes
sexual
on when you
tension.
have your parents
Well,
around.
now I've caught up to my dad in penis size. So there's like this.
No, time out.
Heard it put
Time
like
out.
that before.
I stopped growing in high school. When does the penis stop growing?
Oh
Hopefully it hasn't yet. Please, God.
no. There is nothing bigger than an old dad's penis. It doesn't matter if it started out like little tiny guy. When he's like 60, he's hanging
But
some
is it
dong.
gravity or is it size?
It's A and B. I think it's cholesterol and stuff over the years. So there's just a lot of like leftover blood in there.
Keep the meat coming.
Yeah.
All right.
So like I don't know, when you're a kid, like
A lot of leftover blood.
yeah, that's how penises work, right? That's how cholesterol and penises and veins.
Hey, look,
I
I don't know.
didn't
You
go
know
to
the-
college.
You know the scientific term for a fupa, man. I'm taking all your advice.
He's a scientist.
Yeah.
So, doctor, let me bring you in the lab here.
Scientific
Dr. Michael's
funiculus.
lab. No, so like when I was a kid, this is weird. So when I was a kid,
Don't take it
okay,
weird.
and you as a guy, you see like you might catch your dad naked every once in a while, and you got a little tiny kid penis, and dad's got a like even if it's not like I said, even if it's not like that impressive to a tyke, you're like, God damn.
Just so I feel good about myself, I walk around my house naked so my son could be like, holy shit, Dad.
When am I gonna get one of those?
And I'm like, dude, you're halfway there, bro.
Yeah.
You're 5.
Give it a
You're-
minute.
You're pretty much there.
So yeah, now that I've like grown up and it like we can spar. Like I'll just kind of put it
Sound
out.
room.
I put it out of the doorway just so he would notice it, like that kind of stuff. None of that happened.
I can't imagine what he'd be like with Daddy issues.
Holy shit.
Zero of
imagine.
that happened. But no, it was
Wakes
living-
Dad up in the morning with a dick in his face.
Yeah, exactly. No, some of my first jokes though that I wrote were basically about living at my parents' house.
That's funny. That's what you
27. Yeah, like I was 27 and I just split up with the girlfriend. Well, she split up with me, but split up with her, and then I moved back in, and it was this whole bizarre, just kind of.
Was it over right away, or was
Oh,
there
yeah.
like a really weird like game she played?
Oh, no,
How
no,
was
no,
the
no.
healing process?
Done. Healing process was shockingly fast.
Guys
Yeah?
are always like, I lost
Yeah,
20 pounds.
It was
great.
I did. I lost like 20, 30 pounds, and then got another girlfriend in February.
Yeah.
Gained a few of them. But
Breakup diets.
oh, girlfriend weight's the best.
Best.
Though. So no, it was that was where a lot of it came from. Was just living there and just like
You can take that. Today's about
I
you.
was I didn't even no one texted.
It's not
me.
even his phone.
It's
His
probably
body.
my mother. Wait,
body's
let's see if
just
it's my
making
mom. Let's see if it's my mom. you
Does she
guys.
take dinner requests still?
Oh no, she's not she doesn't cook.
Yes, no.
She's bad at it.
She's bad at it.
No, it wasn't my mom. That was a disappointment. I wish it was.
Let's call you Mom.
I would have called her. No, so I was living there, and I was sleeping in a bed that my grandmother used to like sleep on that they put in the guest room. And there was just her old wicker furniture from like her apartment and stuff was in there. And it was just so strange. And there were like pictures of dead relatives over there. And that's where I formed the joke about like it being hard to jack off in my old bedroom. Because there was my dead grandmother's bed and wicker furniture. And it's kind of dark, but it's the truth. And a lot of my stuff is honestly, most of the stuff, all the stuff that you've seen me do, it's mostly true.
That's awesome.
I don't lie. Like, there's no reason to. Like,
Not with that life.
No. Why? Like, there are sometimes life gives you little gifts like that, and you have to share. You're like, yeah, I jacked off of my grandma's bed. Like, that's something you got to tell the world.
You should say she wasn't in it.
No.
Or was she? I mean,
her spirit was.
Okay, well then that's...
her bones were.
Yeah.
Dusty
old bones.
One of the greatest things about being a comic is any shitty thing that happens to you, you instantly, you're like, oh, this sucks. And literally in the back of your mind, you're like, but this could be funny.
This is going to be great.
Yeah. This is just something else happened to me that I can bring out.
Oh, yeah. And it's looking at, I like looking at life through that, like, scope. Just not taking things too seriously. If there's something embarrassing or ridiculous that happens in your life, I think people kind of put on this, like, front where they don't want to admit that they do embarrassing things all of the time. Constantly. Stuff that they would never admit to their best friend because it's so weird.
I don't hang out with people like that.
And it's who won't say.
Yeah, I don't like people like that.
But a lot of people, that's why I like telling the truth on stage, just because I think people instantly connect with it. They're like, yeah, I do weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just don't talk about it because I'm willing. I'll tell you. So I made a joke last week about how I don't know it's wrong to flush food scraps down the toilet.
Yeah.
That happened the other day. It's
What about
apparently.
bulimics?
Well, it's
Do
not,
your research.
It's not wrong. It's just like if you okay. So I'll tell you the situation. You let me know if your son grew up and he was 17 or 18 and did that in your house. If you'd be like, you're a dumbass. So I don't know how to take care of myself. So I was eating hot tuna that I just cooked on a baking tin. This is the truth.
Disgusting.
It was late. I was super hungry. I didn't have anything else. So I just hot tuna. I don't know what to tell you. It happened. So and I had let it sit there, and it kind of turned to like a nice dust over the course of a few days. It didn't like rot, just dusted. And I was doing dishes and filled up both sinks, and I was like, "Fuck! I forgot to get the rest of the scraps off this one." And then I thought, well, toilet's right there in the other room, whatever the fuck ever. So I just scraped it off in there. And then as I was doing it, I was like, this is wrong. Like, this is not okay.
Turning it to the sea.
Yeah. But I felt wrong doing it. And then I immediately wrote it down. I was like, that's funny. That's so funny to me. Just because there's little things that people do like that, but they don't tell anybody that they do them because it's a small part of your day.
Do you feel like there are stories that are so embarrassing? And this is a question for both of you. And I only ask questions when I have something to say afterwards. That's the only time I ask. Is it happened to you that's so embarrassing that you're like, I really want to tell this story, but it's like, I don't know if I'm there yet, even with me. Like, maybe you're not ready to tell that story?
No.
Because it was just so, like, gross or embarrassing?
No. No.
Open book.
No. Open book. I mean, if everything's funny.
Yeah.
And if there's something that you, as a comic, don't find funny, then what are you doing in comedy?
So your
Everything
most
should be
embarrassing
funny.
story is, like, your funniest story?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I can't think of my most embarrassing story.
It hasn't happened yet, or you'd have it right here.
Probably
Everybody
right.
knows when that horrible thing
right.
happens, and it's right here.
Yeah, I don't know.
It hasn't happened yet.
I never peed myself or anything like in school, like anything I can think of like that.
Not anything with, like, girls.
Okay, I will tell you that one of the more embarrassing moments actually was the only other time I've ever been interviewed. And I was in like the 8th grade, maybe the 7th grade, and was right around like Y2K. And the school news was filming interviews of kids talking about like what they thought about the Y2K bug. And now I have like a decently baritone voice, but at the time I was up a few octaves. And I'm a shorter guy now. I'm only like 5'9", like 5'10" on a good day. But back then, I was like 4'7", I was super tiny. And they only used like a 10-second maybe clip from from my interview, and it was just me going, I don't think Y2K will affect personal computers very much. And that was it. That's all they used. That's all they used. And they showed it to the whole school, I remember.
A blooper.
And it was one of those for like, the longest time. And then it was more so just my group of friends after that. But for the longest time, I would just get the look in the hall, and then you would know people would be like, I don't think Y2K is very much. That was one of the more embarrassing moments ever. Man. That's a funny one. I haven't thought about that in years, actually. I'm not gonna go home and cry about it, but it was funny.
You should change your Facebook status to that and see if anyone gets it.
There would be a select few, but they would, for sure. We were, honestly, like, in school, I was kind of a dick in middle school and high school, more so in middle school. So, like, our friends, we never really got picked on, and we weren't all, like, bullies, but we were, like, mental bullies. We would just really use our jokes and stuff, because all of my friends are really funny. Like, not even my comic friends, like, just my normal friends, and that's probably where I kind of just grew up with humor and stuff, and that's just kind of where it came from. And a lot of the guys that I'm friends with now push me to do it, you know, that aren't even comics and stuff like that. So, fuck those guys so much. Seriously. Oh, they just took it and ran. But, yeah, so I don't think there's anything too embarrassing, really. I don't know. I would talk about anything. I talk about humping a condom into a girl that I dated on stage.
Like a balloon animal?
Yeah, like, crammed it in there. Like, I don't know what else this, like, I say that, and it happened. It's true. Like, I don't know, you know, and
so
I don't,
funny.
It's more fun to me because you get that audience reaction where they're just like, I'm embarrassed for you. And you can almost laugh along with them, and it's fun. Mm-hmm. It's because you know, I've told that story just at a bar before, and there was this girl we were with, and I'd only met her a couple times. We were hanging out with some mutual friends, and she's like, holy shit, my ex and I, that happened to me. I'm like, yeah, I know it did.
What was the incident?
Humping a condom into a girl. You were there. You were there last week.
Oh.
All right, Nance, way to be.
I humped a condom into a girl one time.
When he was done.
Right.
All right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Yes.
Then he had to go get Plan B.
Okay, right.
And they tried to sell him Plan C because it was cheaper.
Wait, and then
that was honestly
funny.
Like,
I loved that.
I didn't even think about the whole like humping a condom into her part initially. It was literally like the only funny part of the story to me when I first like happened was the fact that she said, oh sir, Plan B, okay, that's great, but the CVS brand is cheaper. It's $10 cheaper. Yeah. And just like staring her in the face like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I'm going top shelf with this.
Because the lifetime of a child is worth $10.
Like, goddamn.
Spend the money.
You know. So
I like that, yeah. Because, Michael, you go, like, if I get a cold,
I'll roll the dice.
It just gets to be a worse cold. If I'm going to have a baby.
Like, it was mind-shattering. It blew my mind that, first of all, she had the gall to say anything to begin with. Because it's when, I think, like, buying anything sexual, if you're buying lubricant, if you're buying condoms, if you're buying a pregnancy test.
Yeah, they're not supposed to say anything.
Don't say words to me.
Or just call for, like, a price check.
Would you like a bag? Fuck yeah, I want a paper bag. Yeah. I'm not walking out in public with this shit.
Yeah.
Stupid garbage person. Why would you?
I like the looks I get when you buy wine and a pregnancy test. They're
That's
like,
good.
Really?
The other day I was at my girlfriend's friend. She's got a kid. He's 6. We're sitting around, and I'm really good with kids, but I fucking hate kids. I don't know. It's like a weird dynamic. Like, I'm good at riding a bike, but you see this gut going on. I'm riding no bikes, this man. So, like, I'm great with kids, and I don't mind, like, but generally I don't really like kids. And so we're sitting around talking, and he's telling me about how he's getting this allowance to save up $15 to buy a mystery box. I'm like, oh, what's a mystery box? And he's like, oh, well, I go to the bookstore and I just buy this mystery box and it's got all kinds of fun stuff in it and it's $15. And I immediately looked at him and I'm like, well, when you grow up, the mystery box is also $15, but it's a different kind of mystery box. And I immediately thought about how the EPT error-proof test is $15, and that's the craziest mystery box that I can think of buying. That is the most adult mystery box ever. And you can't say that to a 6-year-old, but you can say it on the car right now.
Nancy and I are like, you can. You can say it to our kids.
It would make kids fun.
All right, that's good though. But yeah, that's a mystery box if I've ever seen it.
Oh, shit. Oh, so all right. You've only been doing comedy for a year.
Yeah.
And you're 28 now. So started when you were 27, right? Mm-hmm. Staying on the course with that math.
Genius, Kevin Elliott.
How long were you interested in comedy?
For a while. It's always one of those been like in the back of my mind kind of dreams. Like, I always loved watching stand-up comics and like see what they do and all the cool stuff that has come out over the years and just how it's sort of advanced and evolved and watching all the old-timers and all the new guys. And I've just always really enjoyed it. And I was really into like acting and stuff in high school. I did a lot of drama. And then in college, I kind of quit performing, and I really missed it, and I didn't really have a direction. And once I kind of got back in, because when I was with the ex, we didn't really hang out with anybody. We didn't have mutual friends, and I kind of like, it was unfortunate, but I lost touch with a lot of my old friends that I'd known forever. And then when I got back in touch with them, my good buddy Kyle Coughlin, who is stand-up and he does improv and stuff here in the Valley, he's hilarious. He got me into it. He was like, dude, you should try it. I do open mics here at Stand Up Scottsdale. That's one you can do. I know some guys that do stand-up in the Valley. And I went and saw him do it one time and just thought, like, wow, okay, I want to try this. So I just went up. So it was one of those, like, I need to either pursue an actual, like, career behind either a desk or a restaurant or wherever the hell it ends up being, or I need to, like, try to follow my old dreams of doing comedy and just do it. So I just went up one night, fell in love with it immediately. I only got maybe, like, a couple courtesy laughs, but it was one of those, like, yeah, just, fuck yeah. And then went up the next week and the next week after, and just kept going with it. And, damn, it's been fun, though. Seriously, it's so fun. It's unbelievable.
Was there anything that sticks out in your mind, like that you saw maybe someone's act or a special DVD, whatever it was, one comic that was just like, dude, that guy's awesome. This is it. I want to start paying attention to comedy. Was it just a bunch of things?
It sounds so cliche to say, but Louis C.K., seriously. Yeah. I saw him live when he filmed his most recent special at the Celebrity Theater. I went to the filming with my then girlfriend, my dad, and my brother, and got to see it live, and because I'd never been to a live comedy show before, I'd never been. So getting to see it live and getting to see a guy of that caliber who's been working at it for so long and has such a good mind for it, watch him perform, and then immediately, like a month after, was when the X thing happened, and it was just one of those where it just kind of launched me into everything.
To go away. Okay, we have to somehow explain this, and then we can say where to follow you on, or where to watch you on YouTube. I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. The sign language for abortion.
So I told my husband, on my way out, he's like, "Who's your guest?" And I told him, and he goes, "Oh, this guy," and he did the abortion sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
one of us has a memory, thank God.
Sign language for abortion is one of my jokes. I had the paniculus bit actually, and the sign language for abortion bit all came from like one 5 to 7 minute set that I had, and it was basically like stuff that I'd learned, like my favorite things that I'd learned online, and those were two of them. Another one was this is stupid, but it's funny to me, that I read an article about how pumpkin pie makes more blood flow to your penis if you're a man, and that's why I think my mom's so sexy around Thanksgiving.
That's Kevin's favorite holiday, and I know he loves his mom so much.
Now you know, buddy. Now you know why.
I knew something about pumpkin pie too.
What did you?
I'm interrupting you.
Oh no. Okay, so there was that. There was the whole thing about sea otters, and it was a longer bit about how there's no God because sea otters rape and kill baby seals. So why would God make a cute animal kill another cute animal? It's just whole nonsense. And then the last bit, the thing I ended on was a sign language for abortion. which I saw online. It was just a brief little clip, little YouTube clip. If you just YouTube sign language for abortion, my God. I saw it one time and thought, there is no way that is the sign for abortion. And it's basically, so it is, you pretend like you're cradling a baby around your stomach area, and then you kind of turn those hands upside down. So now the baby's falling, right?
We walk around doing it in my house.
Yeah, and then you take your fist and you crumple it up like paper, and then you just kind of act like you're throwing it away. And that is literally the sign for abortion sign language, and that's just unbelievable. That they couldn't come up with anything.
Like, I mean, not like pointing to your stomach and then like pointing to like, your hand going across your neck or something.
You could have picked anything.
Like,
anything.
Like put it on the person. Put it on the person saying abortion, not on the baby. Don't throw the baby away. Throw that person away.
I think it kind of makes perfect sense though, because like there's no mistaking that.
Oh
like,
no, you
don't
get
mistake
it. Like,
that.
no, that baby's gone now.
But like this could be something else.
But I haven't looked it up. But what is the what's the sign for miscarriage? Is it the same?
I think it's like
sadder?
crying or something.
Do you do it with like you point to your eye and then you draw the single tear as you're throwing
Or
it?
you point like crying and then you're partying. I don't know.
Ooh,
maybe like tears of joy. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
In my experience, getting rid of a baby is a party. But that's the sign language for abortion joke. I just like that that's a thing in the world. I don't know. There's a lot of things like that where I'm like, I'm so happy that exists.
Abortion or the sign language?
No,
I'm just kidding. No, we don't go political here.
No, the sign language for abortion thing. That's amazing. That's so great. Just because there had to have been, like when they were coming up with it, there had to have been somebody in the back signing like, nah, man, like we can't do. Like, no.
I think it's great.
We gotta come
I think
up
it's a
with
great joke.
So yeah, that's the sign language for abortion, and that's often a closer.
And
nowhere
people
really to
love
go
it.
after
I
that.
bet you never get people going, oh, that's so mean. People love it, right?
Well, yes and no.
The way you do it
Is
after when you're done,
Because,
everyone
yeah.
gets back on board with you, and you're like, "That's fucked up." Like,
Because
shouldn't it be?
Because I end on like the worst line you can end on in that joke, where I say this baby's garbage or whatever, and then I say I'm just gonna throw the red gummy bear away, which I'll even admit it's hilarious. It's terrible. It's a terrible image because you've seen protester signs with little babies and stuff. Now picture red gummy bear.
Delicious.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's
All right.
I don't. All my stuff's not abortion. I'm not like only Arizona's
kids.
#1
Oh,
abortion
that's why you don't have
comedian.
kids.
Come on out to see Mike's full hour on abortion.
No, most of my stuff is just about like real life, like stuff that's happened to me, stuff that has happened mostly recently, just because I've kind of. The relationship had kind of blinded me to the world. I wasn't really paying attention to anything that was going on or really like using my brain or anything. And then when I got out of it, I just kind of started looking at the world differently and just experiencing things and just seeing the funny and stuff. Like I went to a concert, and this is how I found out I was secretly fat, by the way. I went to a concert because I'm not like the fattest or the thinnest dude. But I want to be, like, my fitness goals is, like, I want to be a sitting fat, but, like, a standing thin. To where I'm, like, eating, and you're like,
I get that.
understand.
you're like,
That's
okay.
great.
And then I stand up, and you're like, get the fat, thin guy. I see what you're doing. That's all I care. That's all I want. So when I found out I was secretly fat is I went to a concert, and, they're patting you down and checking you and everything, and I pulled everything out of my pocket, and in my back pocket was the corner of a white cheddar Cheez-It bag. So I pull it out with the rest of my stuff, and there's no convenient garbage can nearby. So I'm just holding it in the air, and the guy takes his flashlight and he immediately shines on the little baggie that I have in my hand. And I just looked at him and I was like, it's just Cheez-Its. And I threw it away as I went through. And so like little stuff like that, like little moments like that, like I just start thinking like, God damn, that's funny. Like that is funny to me. And I don't know,
Dude, it's hilarious.
just because I don't know, it's slightly embarrassing. Like it's one of those like awkward moments. But if you read into things, and that's what I've learned is you just read into everything, and it's hilarious.
My vet told me your pumpkin pie trick, the pumpkin pie thing.
Pumpkin
we
pie?
we had that experience. So like you said, you get old enough, things happen to you. You have those experiences where the pumpkin pie is necessary. And I mean, it was with my dog. Well, maybe I should tell that story real quick.
Yeah, wait a minute.
My dog ate a thing of safety pins. Not my new dog. Yeah, my old dog. So we took her to the vet, and she got x-rayed, and he's like, if you give her pumpkin pie mix, it just pushes, like, everything right out of them. So that's a good tip.
Really?
Yeah.
Pushing
Safety
out pins.
pins.
Yuck.
But nothing opened, but we were so scared they were going to
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
She's crazy. But yeah, none of them opened, but we were like, oh my God, this dog's going to die a horrible,
Yeah.
painful death. And thank God we took her, we got her
Oh, could you
x-rayed.
imagine?
No, I cannot imagine.
No. I almost inhaled a nail the other day.
See? Pumpkin pie mix. Save your life every time.
It was one of those moments where, like, right after, you're like, I could have just fucking died alone.
What happened?
I was just hanging up. Actually, Brian Valona, a mutual friend
Yeah.
of ours,
Friend of the show, been on the show.
friend of the show. Yeah, he was on one of these. He gave me these. He lived in my place with me for a couple days. I don't
He's
know if
trying
he
out the
talked
Sugar
about
Shack
that.
luck.
He didn't mention names.
He
no.
lived with me. Yeah, that was me. If he talked about it, I'm opening his curtains. He was living at my place on a futon for a couple days. But as a nice guy, he gave me some artwork for staying. It was that's like a super nice, like not a 6-pack or something. He gave me art. That's awesome. Now I don't look like I raped girls in there because I have stuff on my walls.
Well, I mean, you live in the studio.
Yeah.
With a bed. So
There's
if
a
you
bed.
bring someone home, there's like, oh,
There's no bed
what are we going
frame.
to do? Like, there's one thing to do at your
Just lays
place.
on the ground.
They're actually
Like, they don't promote
before-
furniture there. There's one thing to do. There's just a bed at the studio.
Just banging. Well, it's
Yeah.
true. There's no dining room table. And actually, I know I'll go back on the hand-hailing a nail, but the bed used to actually be on rolly wheels, and it was on the tile floor.
Oh, shit. So
Yeah.
it rolled all over the floor.
I fucked that thing broken, though. That's for sure.
Wow, that's
But
a fun
anyway,
ride,
so
man.
inhaling a nail. So I was, hanging up Brian Valone's artwork, and I had him in the mouth, where you kind of keep the
Shit,
extra ones.
yeah.
And I had to sneeze. So I went to sneeze, and you inhale before you sneeze, because of science. And it kind of like landed on the back of my tongue, and I'm like, oh my God. And it was one of those immediate, like, I'm so stupid. I could have died
Pumpkin pie mix.
in my own home alone.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, alone? That's not good.
Choking on soup or whatever.
Just find a
Sucks.
nail in the back of your throat.
Like, what was he doing?
Foul. He was doing foul
Hanging up some
play.
art. Just
A little too much for this guy.
too
Hanging
much
up
art.
artwork.
Too much liberal arts in here. That's why
Yeah.
he died.
What is you drink? Yes?
Booze?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Occasionally.
Oh, yeah.
What is the craziest night of drinking you ever had? You have any
Okay.
crazy drinking stories?
So, actually, I went to Coachella this year.
Gross.
It was crazy. It was bananas, and it was gross, but it was amazing. And my friends have been going with these people for like 10 years or something ridiculous like that, and they all camp off site and they go crazy. So it was like 4 days of the most insanity I have ever experienced, just drinking nonsense for, like I said, 4 days. So there's a lot of stories from there, but one of the weirder ones was we were camping in this like desert area, like on the back of this little like canyon thing or whatever, and there were other people that weren't with our group off in different RVs around the edge. And so I'm standing by our group, and we're drinking, and I see flames start erupting from one of the other trailers, like across the way. And my buddy and I, this guy Nolan, we are drunk enough to go investigate. So we walk up, and it's this like crazy, scary desert rave. There's like decapitated mannequins with like blood painted all over. They were mannequins. I tapped it. I stick tapped it.
He tapped it.
I tapped
you're
it to
into
make
that.
sure
Let's
that it
see.
had a hollow noise. We're good. So bloody, fake dead mannequins, like decapitated all over, and there were just people on crazy ecstasy, just rolling their balls off, like shaking, like when they do the head over the hands over the head, and they're just rocking back and forth. And I'm like, man, no, we gotta get out of here. This is insane. This is crazy. We gotta go. So there's this guy in the DJ booth, I guess you want to call it, that's attached to this RV, and he's spinning this insane, aggressive techno music. And there's these two girls sitting in chairs, and another girl's dancing by herself. And this guy comes around the corner, and he's wearing a wolf mask. And he's breathing fire out of the wolf mask. into the night and howling at the top of his lungs. And then the guy in the DJ booth sampled his howls and put them into the song he was remixing. So there was like wolf techno, he's blowing flames from his wolf mask, dead mannequins all over the place. So
and that is how they made the video for What Does the Fox Say?
it was terrifying. So then we start asking the guy, like, well, what about the fire we saw on the trailer? Where he was like, oh, you want to see the big one? And this guy I can describe him as 5'2", incredible build, just handsomely built. This man, 40s, blonde surfer, just sun-baked skin, cargo shorts. Camo colored cargo shorts, adult cargo shorts.
That's okay. Yeah.
That's not cool. You can't do that after 40. So he's got this crazy blonde hair that kind of melts into the wolf mask, and then he pulls out this thing that looks like a fire extinguisher, but is in fact the exact opposite of a fire extinguisher.
It's a flamethrower.
In fact, that it makes fire at an alarming rate. And he tells my friend that he has to be the ignition source because he doesn't have like an igniter on it. So he makes my friend hold this torch out, and then he immediately starts blowing fire into the night while howling and laughing. And then these people the next morning were on so much LSD that they broke into some of our campsites and stole like some stuff. So then our friends went over and stole their bongo drums.
Because if you're going to get somebody back,
You might as well take some bongos. You don't know how many sessions they've been involved in. They probably have some serious sentimental value.
For real
The
deal.
fucking Rusted Root concert they went to in like 99. So we actually ended up getting him kicked out of the park for stealing or whatever.
Wait, everything else is
Wolfman.
okay, but stealing's wrong.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
do
cool.
all the drugs and crazy desert
Blow
rape
fire
stuff.
out of your wolf mask. That's okay.
Please terrify me
Don't
in the night.
steal another man's bongo.
That was just one of the weirder ones. As far as like crazy drunk stories, that would have to be Halloween. That was the craziest Halloween. Let me tell you, this is the Halloween that I drank piss. And
Whoa, go on.
so I was 19,
All right.
and it was my buddy's work Halloween party. I didn't know anybody, but I was just like, oh, I'll tag along, whatever, not doing anything. So I had dressed as a gay pirate because I was 19.
Why not just pirate?
Cutoffs were necessary. It had to happen. So cut off jeans. Actually, no. Cut off like that shitty costume fabric. Very sheer costume fabric. Real short. I'd drawn a purple triangle, which doesn't make sense for a dude, but still over my nipple. Other one had a little nipple, fake nipple ring. And that's what I was wearing. So I go to this party with a couple girls and proceed to just start drinking crazily. Because it was my thoughts, like, I'm 19, I'm okay looking. So I'm going to try to find some strange. I'd never done it before. So I'm at this party, and there's this girl, and she's dressed as a vampire. Crazy sexy. I'm totally into it. Like, way too hot for me. Like, either she had just gotten dumped, so she's in that weird, like, window where they have low self-esteem. We're talking about women folk and low self-esteem. Now that you're back. So there's that window of opportunity that us mediocre-looking dudes like myself need to get in. So it was probably in there, and we're sitting down, and she's just like, oh, my God, this is so fun. I had to take my friends back home. So she says, I know you got to leave, but promise me you're going to come back because there's only one thing that can make tonight better. I'm like, what's that? She goes, if I get laid. And then she grabs the inside of my thigh. And as a guy who this doesn't happen to ever, I was super excited. I was like, just so oh my God.
You know what? Just called my friends a cab. Let's go.
So I did not. I drove them home intoxicated, which was a mistake, you guys.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Thanks for the heads up.
But I got back to the party safe, and she was still there, and I'm like, hey, I'm back. And she stands up, and she goes, how old are you? And I said, well, I'm 19. And then I immediately realized she's going to say something terrible right now. So I said, well, how old are you? And she looks me in the eyes, and she goes, well, I'm turning 16
Oh.
Yeah.
in a month. and I was really drunk, but not drunk enough to like have to flee the scene of a crime later. So I go back inside and proceed to just drink more, and I'm drinking, and it was a restaurant party, so there was a lot of like kitchen staffs. There's a lot of Mexican guys running around, the girlfriends, and at the time I didn't speak very good Spanish. I still don't. It's all kitchen Spanish, cubiertos,
Special beef.
silverware.
I don't know, man.
Cubiertos is silverware, you guys. That kind of thing. So this girl comes up to me and says, just drink this. So I drank it, and it was warm and salty and just tasted wrong.
Oh, no.
And I look back at her, and I give her this look, like, clearly I am not okay with this. And her and all her friends start laughing as hard as they can. And I'm like, I just drank piss.
Oh, my
I
God.
totally just drank piss. But I was too drunk to really do anything about it, and I just ended up passing out, waking up the next day a different person with piss in my mouth.
So you drank it.
I
mean, not finished the whole
whole
thing, but
I like took a good.
you swallowed the pee, ingested it.
Who does that to another person? Like, that's awful.
I'm not.
Guilty.
I'm not like cool with it, but it happened.
Horrible. That's like the meanest thing ever.
Same Halloween, dressed as a gay pirate. I almost got in a fight with one of my best friends in the front yard wearing the gay pirate costume. He was wearing a pumpkin costume.
A gay pumpkin or a regular pumpkin?
Standard
Straight
pumpkin.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
red state pumpkin.
Got it.
Yeah, not blue state pumpkin.
Standard pumpkin.
And we almost got in a fight in like public in these costumes, and I think both of us realized like, okay,
You're going to be on YouTube.
look ridiculous. Like let's
You're to be on
let's
YouTube.
fight in normal clothes.
I behave now because of YouTube.
Let's fight in normal clothes.
Yeah. No, that was the one of the weirder Halloweens and just drinking experiences. It was all on the same nights, and it was just a weird evening. I don't know. I can't. What about you? What do you got? You got a good drunk story?
I have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them. I don't know which to choose if I'm going to tell a story about which one. Man. Well, we'll stick with our age. So that happened when you were 19. This happened when I was 19. I was in college, and I was in a fraternity my freshman year. Not bragging.
I raped a few girls. It's whatever.
No, so we
Just
went
turning
to
16.
one of the people I pledged with. His family was real wealthy, so he had a house near campus, but not right on it, whatever, but close enough to where everybody could go. Not a problem. It was a really fucking nice house. So we go to it, and it's our fraternity and I think like 2 sororities. So there's way more girls than guys. I looked good. I was good looking back then, like thin and shit. But they had this thing that I'd never heard of before up until that point. Now, granted, this was 15 years ago almost, called Jungle Juice.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We call it fuck soup, but yeah.
That's what it should be.
Kids these days call fucks.
Yeah. So, I wasn't an experienced drinker at all. I didn't have a big limit, a tolerance, nothing, whatever. So one of my pledge brothers gives me a cup of it. He's like, dude, you're going to love this shit. And I drank it, and I did love that shit. It tasted fantastic.
It's not to love.
It tastes fantastic. So I just kept drinking it. And, when you drink liquor, from my experiences at least, you don't feel the drunkenness right away. It just kind of hits you all at once, right? And it's usually when you stand up from sitting for a long time.
Yeah.
So I did that. I stood up, and instantly I'm like, ah, shit. How do I get rid of this feeling? And then everything. Oh no. Okay. So I got up. I'm like, fuck. I don't feel good. So then I just sat down outside in the backyard. And there's a shitload of people everywhere. Front yard, backyard, in the house, running around. Everybody going crazy. I'm just sitting there on this little bench in the backyard, like, fuck. I don't feel good. I hate myself. I hate my life. And this girl sits down next to me. And I was like, great, finally, a hot girl's going to talk to me, and I'm going to throw up all over her. She's like, what's wrong? You've just been sitting there for the last 10 minutes. And I'm like, I don't know. Because I didn't want to admit that I was, like, getting sick.
Like,
I'm like, I'm just cool, dude. I just like sitting. I'm cool. And she was like, you don't look so good. I'm like, yeah, well, maybe I don't feel so good. Get the fuck away from me. So I knew I was going to throw up real quick. And I didn't want anybody to see me throw up. And so I walked around the house, like in the backyard, to the wall. And the wall height was perfect to me at chin height. So I just rested my chin on the wall. And it looked like I was pissing on the wall. Like, I put my hands down there, too, to make it look like I was peeing.
The subterfuge of the drunk man.
So, and it just started pouring out of my mouth. Just throw up, just pouring right out. I didn't make noises, nothing. I just opened my mouth, and all of it came right out, right? And while I'm doing it, I'm like, I'm getting away with this. Nobody's even knowing that I'm throwing up. But on the other side of the wall was the front yard, right? So people run around the grass, they turn and look, they're like, oh shit, and start laughing, right? Like, oh, come see this, come see this. I'm like, what's the big deal, dude? I'm throwing up, whatever. Well, on the other side of the wall was a kid passed out on the ground. And my throw up was running all the way down onto him. So he was covered in red jungle juice throw up.
Those are the most responsible days of your life,
dude.
Are the
no good,
20-year-old drunk days? I had this god awful apartment when I was 19. I lived with two other dudes. The guy Kyle, actually I mentioned earlier, and this other guy. And our place was the party apartment because it was such a pile of dog shit. This place, and it was so dirty. And the girls in the group would just come up, clean up the party because they wanted to have a party there. So they would clean up the previous one, and we would just have one every night of the week. And we are outside, me and like 4 or 5 guys, and it was one of those gigantic bottles of Jägermeister with the metal deer head on top. You know what I mean, like the fancy stopper, and like the one
like a wine bottle.
Yeah, like don't drink this in one sitting stopper. So we pass this around and we finish this off in like 20 minutes. And I go back inside, and there's this girl that's sitting on my couch, and I sit next to her, and she was like a friend of a friend. We had talked before. She's like dancing on the table in front of me, and once again, I'm like, we're at my house. Fuck yeah. Like, she's already in my house. Like, cool. And then the puke demon hit, and I'm like, I have got to go vomit. So I go into the bathroom, and our bathroom didn't have an exhaust fan, so we had to keep the little tiny outside. It was like a reconverted hotel, this place. So it was like we had to keep the little sliding window up top. So I am just calling back the dinosaurs in there, just and my buddy Danny, who's like 6'6", 6'7", he can kind of peek into that window, and he's just yelling my name. He's like, Michael, yeah! Well, the girl was outside who I was hitting on, and I can hear her like, what's going on? Cohn's throwing up! I'm like, well, not gonna happen. So I should probably just keep drinking. And then we had a bottle throwing competition in the parking lot.
Oh, shit.
Same night. Also the same night, I tried to go to bed. Same guy, Danny. He was like the older brother, kind of like that I never had or whatever. He was a few years older than me and all my buddies, but we were close with him. And he would just, the worst peer pressure, everything. Like, he's one of those guys, like, he looks at you and he's like, do it. And you're like, fuck. Yeah, okay, give me that. Bottle of fire, drinking it. Thanks, Danny. So I try to pass out, and he goes, no, you're finishing this beer with me. Like, we had, like, maybe 2 or 3 beers left. It's like, dude, I gotta go to bed. It's like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh.
He's like, no. So I get in bed, I lock the door, and then about 10 minutes later, I hear what sounds like my door being broken to pieces, but it's actually him he's taken off the door handle and has taken the lock out and just opens it up and he's a huge dude and I'm a tiny guy, and just drags me into the living room to finish what we started, because he's a good guy.
A great guy.
He was my manager at the time too, actually. Yeah,
well, that's job security, bro.
Oh, it was the best. Oh, because you knew, like, we would all party together, so we would know if someone was late or not there. I'd be like, fuck that guy. I was with him last night. I know what he's doing right now.
Dude, so, hold on. So, when I was a senior in high school, and we went, there was like 8 parties going on in one night. So my friends and I were like, all right, we're going to go from one to the next. We'll just hit them up. We'll have a good night or whatever. And as we got, I think the second party or something, there was this girl that I kind of liked. So I was like, we're just going for party. You come with us, because we had a big car. And So I think there was, let me count, 1, 2, 3. It was, a kid had a navigator. So it was like 1, 2 in the front,
Pop
3,
Cristal.
yeah, like
I got
5.
it.
No, I'm saying, but the rows. So 5,
You're
8.
in an R. Kelly video.
There was
I
like
get
10
it.
people in the car. And so I'm like, you come with us, there's room, whatever. And so I get in the back seat with her, and I'm like, we're going to have good fun, whatever. And as we go party, I'm like, I'm going to keep getting her a drink. I'm not drinking shit. And and this is my way in. This will be awesome. And we start driving after, I think, like 5 stops. We start driving to the next party. And I got my arm around her, and I'm like, yeah, this is fucking cool, man. And all of a sudden, my hand gets super warm. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, did somebody turn the heat on? I look over, she's just throwing up all over my hand. Like, I mean, like, as it poured out of my, it's the same. It's just like dumping out of her face, all over my hand. So I was like, dude, you got to pull over right now. He's like, why? I'm like, I'm getting thrown up on all over inside your car. So he pulls over. Now, we push her out to finish throwing up on the side. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Well, I gotta like watch. This is gross. My hand's gross. We had Zimas in the car.
Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah.
But the
So
best.
I washed my hands with Zima because I'm like, dude, alcohol too. This is perfect, right?
Disinfecting.
Okay. So we stop and we're doing that, and then a cop. We see the lights. Woo, woo, right? I don't know why I made the noise like that.
Oh,
So
perfect.
we see the cops, and everybody runs. I didn't even drink it, and I ran. Right? The only people that stayed back were my friend that was driving, another one of our friends who's a douchebag, and then the girl, right? And we got away. It was some neighborhood where a friend of ours lived. We ended up getting home fine. The end of the story ends for me there. But my friend that was driving drank. We didn't know, so he was totally fucked. Underage drinking, DUI, the whole 9. My other friend heard a rumor that if you drink Febreze, you'll blow zeros when they breathalyze you.
I love those rumors.
And it just so happened there was Febreze in the car.
No.
So he drank Febreze.
He's retarded now, right?
Yeah.
He's now retarded.
Well, so he ended up getting a minor consumption or whatever it is.
Yeah. Of chemicals.
Yeah, and diarrhea for like a week. And then the girl got minor in consumption. There was no. She was just passed out on the ground. And I felt responsible. But you know what? Being an adult.
I feel like what you should have done was when you saw her vomit on your hand, just been like, well, it's her vagina. She's making this mistake. She's making this error.
I love
She's the
those-
one who's going to get a UTI, not me. That's what I would have thought.
The drinking myths, like if you drink Febreze or whatever.
Put a penny in your mouth or something.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that too.
My
Penny in
friend
your mouth.
pulled over. We knew she was drinking. One of my other friends is like, just put a penny or shoving change in her mouth.
Oh shit.
She had like a mouthful of quarters. We're like, all right, you're good. This is gonna work.
License registration. She's just spitting out like a coin star.
Like a token.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
No,
I
really?
don't think any of that
Whoa.
shit works.
I would love to be the guy to find something that does work out. Like, just figure it out.
I have a friend that got so drunk he shit all over someone's house,
Oh, yeah.
and then he left. The next day he flew to New York and never came back.
Wow. Like, he was like, has he never been back in the state? Like, they don't, like, he's got a
He
warrant?
just came back like 2 years ago for the first time. It's been like years.
Let's get him on the show. Let's get him on.
How
Oh,
do
he's
you
a
do
he's a
that?
fucking mess, dude.
How do you do that?
It started off as he had a drinking contest with this girl at a friend's house, and then it moved to another friend's house, and he just kept drinking. I mean, they're like full bottles, like the shit you were talking about. And he thought he was the shit, but the girl could drink more than him. And so he ended up passing out. Nobody knew where he was. And as the party ends, people are leaving. My friends that stayed, I was gone, thank God. He's like, dude, it smells like shit in here. Like, where the hell is that coming from? And they start looking through the house, trying to figure out where the smell is coming from. They open up my friend's sister's bedroom, and the guy, or my friend, or whatever, he's a friend of mine. I'm trying to play it off like
They're
he's not.
soulmates.
You don't talk to him.
He's a friend of mine. He shit like full shits on the bed, in the pillowcase, on the walls. Like, the whole bedroom was covered. His whole body was covered. He was naked. And then my friend's like, dude, you got to get the fuck out of the house. Like, this is gross. As he's walking to the backyard, he's just running into walls, and shit is smearing
Oh my
on the walls. Like,
God.
legitimate shit.
That's disgusting.
He's also the same guy that ended up in the front yard of someone's house throwing up violently, so loud that
Maybe
they called the
he's,
police because they thought an
allergic to
animal got
alcohol.
loose. I swear to God.
Maybe he's got like an allergy. Or
Some people, some people should not drink at all.
No,
period.
no.
If you're prone to pissing and shitting yourself when you're drinking, stop drinking. Stop it.
Yes.
I've never done anything. The one funny poop story that I have, I was stone cold sober. I was living in this place. I just moved in with these few people that I worked with, and I had a little tiny twin bed. That's all I had myself. And then I upgraded. I upgraded to a king size. I was like, I'm a
It's a big
goddamn
upgrade,
man.
bro.
I like beaches, and that's the only way to get it is you get a king size. No woman's going to touch a weenus on a twin. So I get the big size bed, and one night we had a party, and I pass out. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning. I hadn't drank. I was just hanging out and talking to people. And I pass out, and I wake up around 4 or 5, and I have just got like bubble stomach. I have just got to go. And I walk into the bathroom, and I shared it with this other guy, and the toilet is just to the brim with soup. Just whatever is in there.
It's tuna.
Just tuna. Just scraps of tuna. Just garbage. And the other bathroom was in the people that I live with. They were engaged, so their bedroom. I was like, oh, I can't go in there right now. I had to go so bad. So I had just bought this larger bed with larger bed sheets. So I took, I took the old bed sheets that I had and laid them out gingerly on the tile floor of the bathroom and proceeded to do my business on the sheets, the old sheets. And then I cleaned myself and just kind of put it on top of the sheets, and then just wrapped it up like a hobo's bindle, just like I was moving south
On a stick.
and just put on some boxer shorts and went outside, threw those sons of bitches in the trash, and went and slept comfortably. And that is my best poop story that I can think of.
See, there is
top of
nothing
my
too
head.
embarrassing.
No,
shit.
no, that was I can't stress how much that happened, like how much all of that happened.
Seems like you did the right thing. You handled it.
Yeah.
That
you didn't
was
panic.
great.
What else was you gonna do?
Resourceful
You
as
stayed
can be.
calm and
I
you
was-
acted well in an emergency.
On my, if I had to shit in the apocalypse and I had to like go,
You're the guy.
I got you covered. I'm like, you got to go now? Let me show you.
See,
You got that empty soup can? Make it happen.
we have a food supply, water. Here we keep sheets, not for sleeping.
Not for sleeping. Wrapping up your poop. It was like winter, so it was freezing cold too.
Oh,
I just
it wasn't hot.
made that trek. Just,
Well, if there's ever a dead body, you probably know just what to do. I mean, you did great with shit. So
Shit, how
he's the guy to
funny.
call. Call this guy.
The best is if somebody sees him and they're like, "Oh my god, I bet he's like bringing out the parts. He killed someone. Let's go check
Or
it out."
something.
And they
just
open
poop.
it. It's
Yeah,
just
like,
shit.
that looks like tuna. I bet that was tuna a couple hours ago. It's disgusting.
can't.
You guys
like
are
if,
disgusting.
Like
Just
if,
kidding, I love
if
it.
you know dumpster divers, that's a thing. We live in a society of,
Yeah. I saw
homeless
one when I picked up
folk.
Rob before we went to
Really?
LA.
Like, what are you gonna do? Like, they're there, they're around. So, I can only imagine the dumpster diver that was like, "What's in this treasure trove of sheets?" Only to be super disappointed because now I've not only
Or just
ruined-
picking out the food. This is
Yeah.
delicious. This is great.
Like,
Jackpot.
Like, oh, sweet. Cool. I did that to a hamster. My ex-girlfriend had hamsters, and it died. I didn't poop on it.
Oh, I was like, you didn't want to. No
Put a
wonder it
hamster
didn't
in a
work
sheet
out.
once. He needed to go. He owed me some fucking money. So to go for
Like a
bastard
hamster
needed to die.
bookie.
No, she owned rodents, hamsters, and rats and stuff because she's
Ew.
that kind of person. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. And so the hamster died. She was like, well, I don't want to deal with it. I'm like, well, I don't just gonna throw this hamster away. She's like, we have to bury it. I'm like, fucking where? We live in an apartment complex. Like,
Every dog's
in the
gonna dig
green
it up.
belt? Yeah, like,
Yeah.
that's stupid. So I just wrapped it up in several layers of different things, like this is not a joke. I wrapped it up in tissue paper, like you wrap a gift in.
Yeah.
Taped it up,
That's nice.
put it in a bag, taped that bag up, put it in a shoebox, taped the shoebox up, threw it in the trash, and then I realized that I just gift wrapped a dead hamster for some dumpster diver who thinks like, oh sweet, a pair of topsiders. No, dead hammy, dead hamster in there. There's a dead golden hamster.
I think I would have just
That happened
tossed.
twice, by the way. That happened 2 times. One was a rat and one was a hamster.
I'm happy they're both dead.
I was so happy when they died. I hated those fucking things.
Yeah, I had to kill a rat recently.
Where?
I found it in my ceiling. Well, I found out because our TV stopped working while we were watching it. We're like, what the fuck? We finally figured it out. A rat chewed through our cable, and it was in my ceiling. So we had
Did
to
you
cut.
hunt it down personally?
We hunted it down because I thought I was like, in the night I hear things like. So I'm like, I hear it.
At night, Nancy's like, my hearing's amazing.
Well, it's true because I'm laying in bed. I'm like, Billy, I hear this. He's like, you don't hear this, and I'm like, I hear it. Then our cable goes out while we're watching TV. I'm like, that fucking thing chewed through our cable, and it did. It was in the ceiling, so we're cutting holes in the ceiling, trapping it. So like we first started with peanut butter, we just eat the peanut butter and like come back the next night to see what we had. So finally we bought the trap. I didn't want to kill it. I didn't want to keep it as a pet either. So it took the cheese and it broke its neck and it didn't die. It was on the ground moving in circles because it can't walk, but it can move in a circle. Like, well, we can't leave it like this. So I took it to the grass and I was just trying to like make it quick. I shot it with the BB gun. It didn't die still.
You straight up executed this motherfucker. This is great. Okay,
so through my cable.
So what'd you do? So after
so
the BB,
it didn't die. So I shot it again. It doesn't die. I'm like, okay, clearly I'm not the person to take care of this. So I handed my husband a shovel. I was like, do what you need to do.
Dude, your husband's a badass.
He did the shovel to the head, separated its neck. Finally, I felt so bad. So then we threw it like over the wall because wild animals love. But there's like coyotes and shit in my yard. No one took it. It was there for like days. I see it. We go take the dog for walks. It's in this bush. I'm like, shit, no one's taking it. We should throw it away. A couple days later, I see it across the other side of the street. Like a dog took it and moved it. Like no one wanted it. Felt so bad. I'm just like, oh God, next time we're going to keep it as a pet. If I find another one, but I won't.
I imagine him cutting the head off the rat and then like yelling.
Like,
And then like the blood sprays on his face.
Yeah, we haven't had any more rats, but
No?
I didn't know what else to do. Like you can't like let it go; it'll come back.
Did you take care of him that night? You know what I mean? 'Cause
Right.
he killed the rat for you.
Well, I mean, I was the one who shot it.
I
so.
realize I have slowly started to figure women out, and you just do little things like that.
Little things are
you
huge.
get laid more often. If you apologize first, like if you know that you're like, okay, she's gonna be mad at this, I'm gonna preemptively apologize.
Smart.
Like if she apologizes to you, did you know that? It's amazing.
I didn't know.
It's
No, I
fucking
didn't know.
amazing.
That's fantastic.
Jump the gun. You will be rewarded.
Tonight, I'm just saying I'm sorry to everybody.
Hi, I'm
Just
Kevin.
anyone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Kevin. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. She'll be like, yeah, you are, you son of a bitch. But you know what? I'm more sorry. Let me tug on your wiener.
So it's like a one-upper.
I'm telling you, it's gold.
Oh shit! Well, Michael, we could talk to you for fucking ever.
Yeah,
so
you're
we're gonna have you
funny.
back. We got to wrap this one up though.
What time of the night is it? When you guys
I'm
wanna-
gonna go home and apologize.
I don't know, man.
I didn't even get fucked over here, Kevin.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna have you back. We'll have a part 2 and 3, whatever we need to, man. You're a Hall of Famer. So first of all, August 21st is our next live show. Stand Up Scottsdale in the side room. Be there. Come see me. August 31st, Stand Up Scottsdale in the main room. That's at 7:30, I think. So come to that. Michael, where can they see you?
The next one, I'm at the Tempe Improv on August 27th. So,
Everybody go.
Save my name, getting free, all that good stuff. And then, I don't know, I'll probably just kind of be around the valley here or there, doing whatnot, what I can. Whatever
right, man.
people will
Cool.
let happen, whatever happens, you guys.
Cool, man. Yeah, so go check him out, everybody. Because Michael, if you guys didn't understand or hear it or know what's going on, he was on that show last week with the stand-up, so you can listen back to it and laugh your ass off. Because he's one of my favorite comedians. He's funny, and
this guy.
for only a year, dude. Again, fuck you.
I love it. I love hearing it.
All right, last question. We end on this one. What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail?
What would I attempt to do if I could not fail?
Yep.
If I knew I could not fail. Oh, man. Literally the first thing that came in my head was fly.
That's your answer.
Fucking weird.
No.
That was literally the first thing. Was just
Everyone says something different.
if I could
too.
jump off a bridge and soar like an eagle,
There you
and I
go.
knew I was gonna do it.
That's a good answer.
Fuck yeah.
Everybody
That's a
says
great
something
answer.
different. No one's ever answered the same
No.
stock answer. It's
That is a great answer.
Well,
In
my
my
career
dreams all
path
the
is
time.
this, so it's not like I'm
Yeah.
I want to be a millionaire.
No,
I
you just
fly in
want to
my
fly
dreams
from show
all
to
the
show.
time.
I want
So I
to
get
build a
that.
better rat trap so Nancy's husband doesn't have to decapitate it in
I
front
like
of
that I
children.
get no credit for shooting it in the head twice.
You didn't kill it.
You didn't
Yeah.
kill it.
That's why.
You just made its death longer and worse.
Yeah.
Like a good wife does.
Ah!
Good job. All right, everybody. Until next week, y'all have a good one.
This has been another great presentation of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. You can catch more shows at foureyedradio.com.